Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Freedom marchers, freedom family, freedom lovers, and freedom fighters. Snapzilla Gorilla here, hitting y'all with this quick live stream about this very important topic where a 38-year-old man by the name of Rodney Hinton struck a police officer while he was directing traffic. And the day before, I believe, it was the day or the night before, his son Ryan Hinton was killed by a police officer that belonged to the same department, same sheriff's department. And I wanted to talk about the circumstances surrounding both of these killings. Okay. Now, in regards to Ryan Hinton, the police officer that shot him is saying that it appeared that he was pointing a gun at him, right? But the body cam footage does not verify that, right? Stray Godzilla was good. The body cam footage of the officer does not confirm that because it was too blurry. It was not clear enough. And, but what they do know is that Ryan Hinton was running away from the officer when he fired, okay? Now, he was saying he's pointing a gun while he was running away at him, but, all he had to do was invoke the "I feared for my life," thing, the statement. All he had to do was say that, "I feared for my life." Now, apparently, Rodney Hinton Jr., the father of Ryan Hinton, saw the footage and could not finish the footage, right? He couldn't finish watching the footage. But like I said, the next day, he lined up his vehicle, so they're saying, allegedly, right? Okay, all this is alleged. They're saying Rodney Hinton lined his vehicle up to strike the officer that was directing traffic. Now, the officer that was directing traffic was a retired police officer. And he apparently was not the deputy that killed Rodney Hinton Jr.'s son. And so this is a very complicated situation, right? Very complicated, very nuanced, a lot of variables involved. More importantly, you have a father who is grieving the death of his son. Now, to many people out there, his son, Ryan Hinton, would be considered a criminal, right? They would call him a criminal, unredeemable. They would use the circumstances surrounding Ryan Hinton's death to excuse the shooting, right? Whereas someone like myself, I don't have enough information right now, right? Because again, the body cam footage does not show enough. But apparently they're saying that Ryan Hinton and his buddies got caught in a stolen vehicle in a parking lot. And they all fled, right? I think he had 3 other friends. They all fled. He fled. They fled. The officer that shot him said that it appeared that he was pointing a gun at him. So it's one of those things, right? Now they're saying that Ryan Hinton was armed. That's what they're saying in the news. The news is saying that Ryan Hinton was armed. So you have that as well. And then you have Rodney Hinton killing a police officer that was not involved in the least in his son's death. And you would think, okay, well, shit, throw the book at the motherfucker. I mean, it is what it is, right? Well, here's one thing we do know about the police. What we do know about the police is that they will lie. They will lie in order to paint a certain picture. to make themselves out to be the victims, right? Because he was a victim of a man or a young man who had just turned 18 years old. He was a victim of fear of being shot by this 18-year-old. So he shot him first, right? But again, we probably will never know exactly what happened. Just like we don't know exactly what happened with Sandra Bland. And so this is going to be a very interesting thing for me to follow. I want to keep up with it. I want to find out exactly what happened. I want to see if maybe there's body cam footage from other officers. Maybe there's surveillance footage from a business or a Ring camera or something. Maybe there's something, right? Because they caught the guys in the parking lot of a business. Maybe there's a camera there, right? But here's what likely is going to happen. The dude that shot Ryan Hinton will probably get off no matter what, because like I said, he said he feared for his life. And when you say you fear for your life as a police officer, then it doesn't matter if the guy's armed, unarmed, running away, running toward you, flying away like Superman. It doesn't matter. When an officer says he fears for his life, he has carte blanche to murk you for all intents and purposes, except for under very, very extenuating circumstances, right? Like when Amber Geiger killed Botham Jean. I don't know if you guys remember that. When Amber Geiger murdered Botham Jean, she said she feared for her life. But we come to find out that she targeted him for whatever reason, and shot him while he was eating ice cream, right? And so it took a long time for them to find out that Amber Geiger was a liar, and look what happened. She only got 10 years. And I think she's even released from prison now. Botham Jean's brother forgave her for some reason. The judge took it easy on her for some reason. And they were both black. So we know police officers, even when they get caught red-handed, lying, and committing cold-blooded murder, well, they don't receive the same punishment. This was probably, and I can't speak for the state of mind of Rodney Swinton, right? Or Hinton. Rodney Hinton Jr., the guy that killed the police officer. But what I can say is he probably felt like there would be no justice for his son's death. Regardless of his son, whether or not his son was guilty of stealing a car, whether he was guilty of pointing a gun at a police officer, we're supposed to have due process, right? Due process. Innocent until proven guilty. But we know when the police have their way, this is likely not to be the case. Stray Godzilla says, looks like the gun was planted. Okay, I gotta look into that. The last I heard last I saw was that he was armed, but I'm gonna look into that a little more. Sam Seals was good, man. Salute from West Australia, boy of East Oakland. That's what's up, man. How you liking Australia? Cameron Herndon was good. Absolutely, Snapzilla the gorilla, exactly. Alina Love was good. How you doing? Jan Kozusnik. Hello. Anyway, that's all I got for now, y'all. I just wanted to bring that to you guys' attention. I will be looking into this a little bit further, get more information. But, when dealing with the police, you never know what you're going to get. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what mood they're in, because they're not held to the same standard as the people they're supposed to protect. Well, actually, the Supreme Court said that the police had no duty to protect and serve the people. So, there's that. And, of course, we got Donald Trump, who wants to give full-on immunity to police officers. So this is what I say, y'all. What if we all became sheriff deputies and police officers? What if we did that? Like, what if black folks in droves started joining police departments and sheriff's departments in droves? What if we did that, right? What if we started doing that? Started applying, we all got, what if a shitload of black folks started becoming the police? Maybe then they will start holding police officers accountable. Maybe then, right? Because, there's plenty of black police officers, right? But they are in the tiniest of minorities. So if we started to become more of a minority and maybe even closer to equal in amount, maybe they will start holding the police accountable, right? Maybe they would. A bunch of black folks line up to become police. Why not? Why not? Maybe then they will start getting a little bit more scrutinized. Maybe then they would want a civilian oversight committee. What if a police commissioner and a sheriff, which I think both are elected positions, what if, we started going for those positions? What if we started becoming mayors and all that other shit? Maybe there would be more accountability. You know what I'm saying? Maybe right out of high school, you convince your children, hey man, apply for that sheriff's department, apply for the police department. Why not? That would definitely change a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? But, there would probably be less police violence. There would probably be less police terrorism. You know what I'm saying? Due to the black folks' forgiving nature, right? In general, against other people, right? Maybe there'd be more violent. I don't know. Maybe there will be some changes, right? Instead of, to try to redirect the youth from becoming gang members and shit, drug dealers, and have them join the police departments, right? Maybe steer them in that direction. Maybe we would see some change then. Maybe just like when black folks started buying up guns in droves, right? Now they want to be super gun control, right? Because black people started actually being able to exercise the right to keep and bear arms back in the 60s, I believe. Yeah, that's when they really started wanting to get that gun control cracking, right? Especially in I think it was the 70s or the 80s, when there was the first big push for gun control in the state of California. When the Black Panthers showed up to the state capitol, armed to the teeth, legally. When the Black Panthers started showing up, when they showed up to Sacramento with their guns, and then Ronald Reagan, right, the Republican, he signed what's the name, I forgot what that law was, what that act was. The act, or the gun control bill that basically outlawed open carry and concealed carry in the state of California. Yep, that was due to black folks exercising their rights to keep and bear arms. Maybe if we exercised our ability to become the police more and more, maybe then they would start to hold police more accountable. Maybe Donald Trump and people like him would no longer want to give full immunity to the popo. When what we should be doing is holding the pigs to a higher standard, right? Hold them to a higher standard so that when they do commit crimes, when they do wrong things, when they do bad things, when they are committing crimes, they get twice the sentencing or twice the penalty of a regular civilian or a citizen, right? Let's say if you're going to outlaw marijuana and you're going to get a mandatory sentence of 5 years, maybe if a police officer gets caught using marijuana or something like that, or taking marijuana or whatever, or planting marijuana on people when they get caught doing silly shit like that, maybe they get 10 years mandatory. They should get held to a higher standard. If a police officer gets caught, right, and they go down and they get convicted of murder, maybe they should get a summary execution maybe they get a summary execution right then and there. As soon as they get convicted, they get taken out back. You know what I'm saying? Firing squad, bada boom, bada bing, lights out. That would change. That would change the dynamic of police officer and civilian relations. But again, not a whole lot of information about this whole case. I don't understand, because I haven't lost a child due to police terrorism or due to police justifiable killing. I can't say either way right now. But you know, he targeted a police officer that had nothing to do with his son's killing, and that is going to be a problem for him. You know what I'm saying? I understand that he's grieving and he's going through something, but yeah, it's probably not going to look good. Even if the guy that killed his son is found out that he planted the gun on him, yeah, temporary insanity. I mean, you could chalk it up to that. Absolutely, you could say that. But they already building a case in the court of public opinion, by saying that he deliberately and premeditatedly decided to go kill a police officer. So we'll find out. Yeah, I agree. Temporary insanity. That makes sense to me. You know, that makes sense. Even if he was planned, it can still be considered temporary insanity. I agree with you 100%. But we'll find out. We'll find out. We'll see what happens. Man. Anyway, that's all I got for now, y'all. Dry Turkey says Rodney raised a crip. He might have. I don't know. He may very well have. Could be. Could be. I don't know. I don't know all the information yet. They say he stole a car. He was fleeing from the police. They say he pointed a gun at him. I don't know. Right? When more information comes out, we'll find out more. Anyway, thank you guys for coming through and listening to me go on about this. It's important that we highlight cases like this. It's important that we have discussions about shit like this, because it's really important for the future of black folks in this country, right? Because like I said, Donald Trump is trying to give blanket immunity to police officers, which will give them more power and more ability to go around murking people, right? You'll have more crazy ass motherfuckers join the police department, so they can, the same reason, these same motherfuckers that join the military to blow shit up and kill people, they're getting out of the military and they're joining the police department, and police departments, they love veterans that weren't MPs. So if you were infantryman or a field artillery or something like that, you were part of if you were in combat arms in the military, they love you, right? Because all they have to do is continue the training of kill or be killed. And when you're out there, your life is in danger 24/7, and you got to be ready to murk a motherfucker. Like Brandon Tatum said, right? Officer Tatum said this. He said, you're trained as a police officer that when an 80-year-old woman calls you out to investigate a possible break-in or burglary, he said that you're trained to think that you might have to kill that 80-year-old woman when you show up. Yeah, the same 80-year-old woman that called you out, you might have to kill her. That's what he said out of his own mouth. This is what police officers are trained to think like. You might have to kill that 80-year-old woman. So think about that the next time you want to call the police out to handle some shit. But anyway, much love, like, share, subscribe, and let's keep marching forward toward freedom.